Hello and welcome to Pittsburgh City Council's Standing Committees meeting for Tuesday, October 8th, 2019. My name is Kim Clark Baskin and I'm the Deputy City Clerk. With us today, we have our sign language interpreter, Logan Showalter. The following is a list of legislation up for preliminary approval by Pittsburgh City Council. Finance and Law Committee, Reverend Burgess is the chair. We have new papers, Bill number 2109. Resolution amending Resolution 762 of 2018, which authorized the Director of Finance to enter into a contract or agreement or use of existing contract or agreements with the Pittsburgh Community Reinvestment Group for the purpose of annual analysis of community reinvestment of possible city depositories and other associated work. The contract period was originally November 1 to December 31st, 2018, renewable annually for up to 3 years by mutual agreement of the parties at $25,000 of each year of service. Bill number 2110, resolution further amending Resolution 855 of 2011, effective December 2011, as amended, entitled Resolution Adopting and Approving the 2012 Capital Budget and the 2012 Community Development Block Grant Program, and approving the 2012 through 2017 Capital Improvement Program by reducing Children's Museum by $4,000 and increasing Women's Center and Shelter by $4,000 and authorizing a subsequent agreement for operational and administrative expenses. Bill number 2111, resolution further amending Resolution number 797 of 2017, effective December 28, 2017, as amended, entitled Resolution Adopting and Approving the 2018 Capital Budget and the 2018 Community Development Block Grant Program and the 2018 through 2023 Capital Improvement Program by reducing CDBG personnel by $10,000 and increasing Women's Center and Shelter by $10,000. Public Safety Services Committee, Mr. Lavelle is the chair. We have new papers, Bill number 2116. Resolution providing for the issuance of a warrant in favor of Shallow Creek Kennels, Inc. in the amount of $8,000 for the purchase of one canine for the Department of Public Safety, Bureau of Police. Public Works Committee, Mrs. Kell Smith is the chair. We have a deferred paper, Bill number 1637. Resolution authorizing the mayor and the directors of the Department of Parks and the Department of Public Works to enter into a lease agreement with the Pittsburgh Ballet Theater for a portion of real property located on Liberty Avenue between 29th and 30th Streets. Bill number 2057, resolution authorizing the mayor of the City of Pittsburgh and the Department of Public Works to apply for a grant from the Redevelopment Authority of Allegheny County's Gaming Economic Development Fund for up to $500,000 to provide funding for the design and construction of a new park building for the Cowley Recreation Center project, and should the grant be awarded by RAC, are authorized to enter into agreements with RAC. In the event this grant is awarded, this resolution provides for an agreement and expenditures not to exceed $500,000 for this stated purpose. This grant does not require a local match. We have new papers, Bill number 2118, resolution granting unto Squirrel Hill Urban Coalition at 2136 through 2144 Murray Avenue, their successors and assigns, the privilege and license to construct, maintain, and use at their own cost and expense 6 tree pits, along with 5 benches at 2136 through 2144 Murray Avenue, 14th Ward, 5th Council District. Bill number 2119, resolution granting unto RMU Properties, LLC, at 1402 Murray Avenue, their successors and assigns, the privilege and license to construct, maintain, and use at their own cost and expense an ADA entrance ramp at 3601 Penn Avenue in the 6th Ward, 7th Council District. Bill number 2120, resolution granting unto Desmond Architects at 3629 Mintwood Street, their successors and assigns, the privilege and license to construct, maintain, and use at their own cost and expense for entrance stairs and 10 planters at 3629 Mintwood Street, 6th Ward, 7th Council District. Bill number 2121, resolution granting unto Jason Regan at 3611 Mintwood Street, their successors and assigns, the privilege and license to construct, maintain, and use at their own cost and expense a new feature wall with a bench and canopy at 3611 Mintwood Street, 6th Ward, 7th Council District. Land Use and Economic Development Committee, Mrs. Gross is the chair. We have deferred papers. We have bill number 1995. Ordinance amending and supplementing the Pittsburgh Code of Ordinances, Title IX, Zoning, Chapter 915, Environmental Performance Standards, subsection 915.06, Sustainable Development for Publicly Financed Buildings by deleting certain language and adding a new subsection, 915.08, titled Sustainable Development for City-Owned Facilities. A public hearing was held for this legislation on October 1st, 2019. Bill number 2096, resolution further amending Resolution 772 of 2016, effective January 1, 2017, as amended, entitled Resolution Adopting and Approving the 2017 Capital Budget and the 2017 Community Development Block Grant Program, and approving the 2017 through 2022 Capital Improvement Program by reducing Southwest Pittsburgh CDC by $16,500 and increasing Hope for Tomorrow by $5,000 and increasing Sheridan Community School by $1,500, increasing Ream Recreation Center by $5,000, and increasing Building Bridges for Business by $5,000. This bill is sponsored by Councilwoman Teresa Kell Smith. Bill number 2097, resolution further amending Resolution number 863 of 2018, effective January 1, 2019, as amended, entitled Resolution Adopting and Approving the 2019 Capital Budget and the 2019 Community Development Block Grant Program and the 2019 through 2024 Capital Improvement Program by reducing Birmingham Foundation West End Employment Center by $1,000, and increasing Sheridan Community Council by $1,000. Updating J.D. Edwards financial information, and authorizing a subsequent agreement for operational and administrative expenses. This bill is sponsored by Councilwoman Teresa Kell Smith. We have new papers, Bill number 2112, resolution providing for the Pittsburgh City Council to authorize the mayor of the City of Pittsburgh to execute all necessary agreements between the City of Pittsburgh and the Pennsylvania State Historic Preservation Office as may be required for renewed participation in the Certified Local Government Program. Bill number 2113, resolution amending Resolution 534 of 2018, effective August 6, 2018, entitled Resolution Providing for an Agreement or Contract or Use of Existing Agreements and/or Contracts with Urban Design Ventures for the purpose of assisting the city in preparing environmental reviews resulting from an audit conducted by the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, and providing for the payment cost not to exceed $20,000 by increasing the amount authorized to $48,000. Innovation, Performance, and Asset Management Committee, Mrs. Strasburger is the chair. We have new papers. We have bill number 2122. Resolution amending Resolution 469 of 2018, which authorized the mayor and the director of Innovation and Performance on behalf of the City of Pittsburgh to enter into a professional services agreement and/or amendments with Planet Technologies for SaaS, also known as Software as a Service, email and data file collaboration, increasing the authorized contract amount by $47,580 for Active Directory modernization services. Environmental Affairs Committee, Mr. O'Connor is the chair. We have deferred papers, bill number 2018-0983. Resolution authorizing the mayor and the director of the Department of Finance to execute quitclaim deed or deeds and any other necessary or appropriate documents, agreements, and instruments conveying as is all of the city's rights, title, and interests, if any, in designated city-owned properties to the Urban Redevelopment Authority of Pittsburgh for consideration of $1 each. Bill number 2029, resolution adopting plan revision to the City of Pittsburgh's official sewage facilities plan for the 201 Arsenal Phase 2 residential land development project located at 135 39th Street. That concludes the reading of the legislation up for preliminary approval. Thank you and have a wonderful day.
Welcome to Pittsburgh City Council Standing Committee meeting of Tuesday, August 8th, 2019. Our first order of business is public comment. Members of the public who want to address City Council, please come forward. Start off with your name and your location or address. The green light means the beginning of 3 minutes. The yellow light means you have 1 minute to summarize. The red light means your time has expired. Please relinquish the podium. First speaker, please. First speaker, please. Good afternoon, Dr. Miller.
Good afternoon. Ich bin Dr. Ronald Miller, Homewood. American Historical Association, Association for Geographers in the United States, Global Intelligence Society candidate for President 2020. A concern of council, as I indicated this morning, is with neighborhoods. U.S. citizens nationwide, regulation of our local, state, and national governments is beyond our control. I hear this over and over and over again. Neighborhood governments should be under their control. Sub-city, sub-district, and what I consider to be micro-neighborhood governments. And I've advocated this since 2011. There is no Pittsburgh local, Pennsylvania state prohibition, and the 1789 Constitution, Article 10, Amendment 10, permits the people of a U.S. neighborhood to create their own, establish their own neighborhood government and sub-governments, sub-units, NGUs. A council of three, I suggest, and headed by an NGI president. The NGU should be, I think, elected by the people. There are a lot of associations in the city that don't seem to be elected by the people in the neighborhoods. I just find that completely absurd. So the NU would be around 500 to 1,000 residents, and the voters would be people who were owners of homes and or renters, acre approved, and a paper ballot. Now, the example that I used this morning was Homewood Neighborhood 1, and broken into subunits, one beginning with around, quadrisected around the Carnegie Library. The people of Homewood and the other neighborhoods in the city of Pittsburgh and across the United States have the constitutional power to do this, to have referenda to decide, what the boundaries are of the neighborhood units, and how to subdivide it. I mean, the example which I gave is just that, an example. But I think it should emanate from the people how they would want to go about doing that. And this would protect our children and provide water and food and housing in emergencies. And the residents of the neighborhood unit would be the people who would be getting these supplies.
Thank you very much. Next speaker, please. Next speaker, please. Seeing no other speakers, will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Coghill.
Here.
Ms. Gross.
Here.
Mrs. Harris.
Here.
Mr. Kraus. Mr. Lavelle.
Here.
Mrs. Cal Smith.
Here.
Ms. Strasburger.
Here.
Mr. Burgess, Chair.
Here.
7 members present.
Right, members, we have an unusual request, and so I'm going to walk you through it. There was a bill that was not introduced, I think, last week, and it is a bill on our medical coverage, but because we need to get the notices out to employees, we want to consider it. So what has been requested by the chair, there will be a motion to suspend the rules. Once the rules are suspended, there will be a second motion to introduce the bill and to discuss it. So it will be 2 motions in one, so 2 separate motions. The first one will be to suspend the rules. The second one would be the motion to introduce and consider the bill. So is there such a motion to consider, to suspend the rules?
Second.
Second, roll call vote and suspend the rules, please.
Mr. Coghill.
Aye.
Ms. Gross.
Aye.
Mrs. Harris.
Aye.
Mr. Kraus.
Aye.
Mr. Lavelle.
Aye.
Mrs. Cal Smith.
Aye.
Ms. Strasburger.
Aye.
Mr. Burgess, Chair.
Aye.
Ayes 8, no 0.
Okay, the rules have been suspended. Now, the chair will entertain a motion to present and discuss bill number 2139.
So moved.
Need a second?
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposers, nay. That, my understanding is that will count as the introduction of the bill. Now, the bill is on the table. Mrs. Harris has the floor.
Yeah, I would also like to add the Rule 8 to that so that
Don't
we
need the Rule 8.
can discuss it.
You don't have to Rule 8 it because
I think
you don't, we've already suspended the rules, which
Okay,
included
okay.
Rule 8. So
Okay.
once we suspend the rules, we're no longer bound by the Rule 8 requirement.
Okay. Okay,
Rules on the table, it's in your hands.
okay.
Read the
So,
bill. We'll have clerk read the bill. I'm sorry, it's on the table. Thank you. Clerk, if you read the bill.
Bill number 2139, resolution authorizing the mayor and the director of the Department of Human Resources and Civil Service to enter into agreements with Highmark, UPMC, and Aetna for services relating to the provision of healthcare benefits through December 31st, 2022, and for the payment of the cost thereof.
Now I need a motion to approve the bill
so moved.
with discussion. So moved, second. Bill is on the table. Ms. Harris again has the floor.
Okay, I would ask my staff to please, at this time, whatever you're doing, give me my folder. Thank you. If you would come forward. And if you could give your name for the record, please.
Janet Manuel, Director of Human Resources and Civil Service.
Kevin Paulus, Director of Office Management and Budget.
Okay, we had a discussion about it, and there was a number of questions, and I asked that the council members would each get a copy of everything that I have as soon as possible. Okay, would you like to go down to questions and give question and answer first after, you gave your names already, right?
Yes.
Okay, let's
So the
start.
purpose of this respective legislation is to approve the city of Pittsburgh to go into contract with the three respective medical carriers, and that is Highmark, Aetna, and UPMC. They are the current carriers that we utilize today to provide medical insurance coverage for the city of Pittsburgh employees. And so the contract will end at the end of this year for these respective carriers, and the proposal is for your approval of them for us to go into an agreement with them effective January 1st of 2020 through December 31st of 2022, which is a 3-year contract. And so as we are also in the month of October, which is preparation for annual open enrollment. So once we have the approval from City Council, then of course we will be able to roll out the respective open enrollment. Yes, it will be for 30 days for all staff. And so there were additional questions asked in regards to plan design. There is no plan design change. Everything that we have intact today will remain. There is no smoking surcharge that will be asked of the employees. There was a question in regards to what is the proposed increase in monthly premium costs for non-union AFSCME as well as crossing guards and medics. There will be a 2.7% increase. That is based on our medical usage by employees. And the 2.7% increase in years, in comparison to previous years, is a lower percentage. It has historically been 5% or higher, but thankfully with our employees, the increase will be 2.7%. Of course, there is not an increase for police or fire. There was also the respective questions as to when will employees receive their open enrollment benefit packets. Once the final vote from City Council is completed, then the benefits area within the Department of Human Resources and Civil Service will make sure that that information is sent out expeditiously to the impacted employees. In regards to the showing of the actual percentage of change, we can also email that to each respective city council member, but that information will be included in the respective open enrollment packets.
Okay. Before we go any further, I thought you were going to bring up a copy for each council member of what I have. So Is it possible?
We can make sure that each council member receives that. Yes, ma'am. There was not enough time to have that printed, but we will make sure that that is given.
Okay,
by the
and
end of
also
today.
the other pieces, and if anybody wants to see what I'm looking at.
So the material that Councilwoman Harris is referencing is just a summary and an outline of what the respective medical carriers provided, Aetna, UPMC, and Highmark, as well as what the actual plan design details. And so the plan design, even though we have the three respective carriers, the plan design is respectfully the same. So whether it's the out-of-pocket or the in-pocket or the co-insurance payments, they are the same respectfully for each respective carrier. And so understanding that we do not want to change our respective carriers, that will cause a disruption to the service that's provided for our employees. So that is why we are asking that we retain the main carriers that we have today.
Okay, and council will receive those, and after we vote,
Yes, ma'am.
those will go out approximately Wednesday after the Tuesday meeting.
Of next week?
They'll be preparing that now.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, okay.
You are correct.
Okay, and do you have the other questions?
As far as the 2.7% increase for the municipal group, so as you all know, it is broken down into three groups: fire, police, and municipal. In the municipal group, that includes non-union, both ASME unions, paramedics, and school guards. Like Director Manuel alluded to earlier, it's a 2.7% increase per month per employee in the municipal group, and for police and fire, it is 0 right now because we are in arbitration. That is subject to an arbitration award. But I want to be clear with the total premium equivalent for the plans will not increase. The only thing that may increase that would be subject to an arbitration award would be the monthly employee percentage contributions. So depending on the arbitration awards, that's when we would have to change once we get those. And my office would be more than happy to send you all a copy of the breakdown by plan tier, by group, of what it would cost per employee per month electronically.
And that'll come before next Tuesday, correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay. And open enrollment will be a little longer this year?
So open enrollment, the standard time frame is 30 days, and so that will remain the standard time frame. And so the effective date of it, as I stated earlier, is that, once we receive the vote from respective city council and the vote would be yes, then that would give the benefits area within HR the opportunity starting next week to start sending out the respective information and setting up information sessions for all employees.
Okay, and did you talk about what the projection is between 2019 and 2020?
I did not. The 2019 budget had our healthcare budget approximately 41.5 or 6 million, and the 2020 budget is 40.1 million. So we had a slight reduction. There's more opt-outs and things like that.
That impacts it.
Yes.
Okay.
Anyone else?
Anyone else?
Any other conversation?
Right
No
now.
conversation, motion approved on the table. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, there's nay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. You can go back to your gear training,
Thank you, and
which we can't go to because we're
Thank
here.
you, thank you, directors, and I have to point out they're both from District 2. so.
All right. All right, that takes us back to the agenda. We are on Finance and Law Committee, which I am the chair.
Bill number 2081, resolution authorizing the mayor and the director of the Department of Finance to enter into an agreement or agreements with CSS Inc. for the provision of a business tax and revenue management software package for a sum not to exceed $5 million over 5 years and for the payment of the cost thereof.
I'd like to entertain a motion to hold for 2 weeks.
Second.
Any other conversation? No conversation. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Thank you very much. We have a new paper.
Bill number 2109, resolution amending Resolution 762 of 2018, which authorized the Director of Finance to enter into a contract or agreement or use of existing contract or agreements with the Pittsburgh Community Reinvestment Group for the purpose of annual analysis of community reinvestment of possible city depositories and other associated work. The contract period was originally November 1 to December 31st, 2018, renewable annually for up to 3 years by mutual agreement of the parties at $25,000 for each year of service.
Need a motion?
I'd like to make a motion to hold.
Is there a second?
Second.
How long? 1 week?
Just 1 week. I'd like to have some conversation about it.
All right, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposers, nay. It is held 1 week. That brings us to next resolution.
Bill number 2110, resolution further amending Resolution number 855 of 2011, effective December 29, 2011, as amended, entitled Resolution Adopting and Approving the 2012 Capital Budget and a 2012 Community Development Block Grant Program, and approving the 2012 through 2017 Capital Improvement Program by reducing Children's Museum by $4,000 and increasing Women's Center and Shelter by $4,000, and authorizing a subsequent agreement or agreements for operation, administrative expenses, maintenance, purchase of equipment, and/or rehabilitation of neighborhood facilities on behalf of the residents of the city of Pittsburgh.
Need a motion? There's a second.
Second.
All right, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposers, nay. Next bill, please.
Bill number 2111, resolution further amending Resolution number 797 of 2017, effective December 28, 2017, as amended, entitled Resolution Adopting and Approving the 2018 Capital Budget and the 2018 Community Development Block Grant Program and the 2018 through 2023 Capital Improvement Program by reducing CDBG personnel by $10,000 and increasing Women's Center and Shelter by $10,000, and authorizing a subsequent agreement or agreements for operation, administrative expenses, maintenance, purchase of equipment, and/or rehabilitation of neighborhood facilities on behalf of the residents of the city of Pittsburgh.
Need a motion?
Motion to approve.
Need a second?
Second.
Any conversation? No conversation. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposers, nay. That takes us to the invoices. Invoices are on the table. I need a motion for the invoices.
Motion to approve.
Need a second?
Second.
Any conversation? No conversation. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposers, nay. There are no interdepartmental transfers. There are P cards. P cards are on the table. Need a motion for the P cards.
Motion to approve.
Need a second?
Second.
Any conversation about the P cards? Seeing no conversation. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposers, nay. It takes us to the next committee of the day, Public Safety Services Committee. Mr. Lavelle is the chair. We have a new paper.
Bill number 2116, resolution providing for the issuance of a warrant in favor of Shallow Creek Kennels, Inc., in the amount of $8,000 for the purchase of one canine for the Department of Public Safety, Bureau of Police.
Need a motion, Mr. Lavelle.
Motion to approve.
Need a second. Any conversation, Mr. Lavelle? Seeing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposers, nay. That takes us to the Public Works Committee. Mrs. Kell Smith is the chair. We have a deferred paper.
Bill number 1937, resolution authorizing the mayor and the directors of the Department of Parks and the Department of Public Works to enter into a lease agreement with the Pittsburgh Ballet Theater for a portion of real property located on Liberty Avenue between 29th and 30th Streets.
Motion to approve.
Need a second?
Second.
Councilwoman Gross.
Is this the Denny Park one again?
This is ballet.
Development, thank you again. So I have, I emailed you, but just before the meeting here, a letter from the neighborhood organization. I feel like each week I have a little bit of an update. And so when, the next time we have this bill in front of us, I'm hoping to attach it as a kind of the way I've attached memorandums of understanding to like intermunicipal liquor license transfers, so that it gets sent over in our official records for the administration to do the lease.
Okay, so hold it for,
Yeah, so if you could hold for 2 weeks, I think I'll have it ready then.
okay, motion to
Thank
hold for
you.
2 weeks.
There's a second.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposers, nay. Next bill, please.
Bill number 2057, Resolution authorizing the mayor of the city of Pittsburgh and the Department of Public Works to apply for a grant from the Redevelopment Authority of Allegheny County's Gaming Economic Development Fund for up to $500,000 to provide funding for the design and construction of a new park building for the Cowley Recreation Center project, and should the grant be awarded by the Redevelopment Authority of Allegheny County's Gaming Economic Development,
No, we
are
held-
authorized to enter into agreements
that
with RAC. In the event this grant is awarded, this resolution provides for an agreement and expenditures not to exceed $500,000 for this stated purpose. The grant does not require a local match.
Motion to approve?
Need a second?
Second.
Any other conversation? No conversation. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
One conversation or abstention?
No, this is in my district, so I wanted
I'm
to
sorry, I was
say
looking to see
something.
who
So
it was.
it's just applying for a grant, but you-
Yeah, and I just want to say that it says new. It's new or old at this time.
Pardon me?
New or old at this time.
Which new role?
Building.
It says new park building.
Or could possibly be old. They're not done talking about it yet.
Oh, or a renovation of a building.
Right.
Okay.
So what do you want to do with the grant?
I just want to make sure council's clear.
Okay.
Still ask for it.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposers, nay. That takes us to new papers.
Bill number 2118, resolution granting unto Squirrel Hill Urban Coalition 2136 through 2144 Murray Avenue, their successors and assigns the privilege and license to construct, maintain, and use at their own cost and expense 6 tree pits along with 5 benches at 2136 through 2144 Murray Avenue, 14th Ward, 5th Council District.
I'm
Your
sure.
motion?
Motion to approve?
Need a second?
Second.
Conversation, no conversation. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Next bill,
Aye.
Aye.
please.
Bill number 2119, resolution granting unto RMU Properties LLC, 1402 Murray Avenue, their successors and assigns the privilege and license to construct, maintain, and use at their own cost and expense an ADA entrance ramp at 3601 Penn Avenue, 6th Ward, 7th Council District.
Need a
Motion to approve.
Need a second?
Second.
Conversation, no conversation. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposers, nay. Next bill, please.
Bill number 2120, resolution granting unto Desmond Architects at 3629 Mintwood Street, their successors and assigns the privilege and license to construct, maintain, and use at their own cost and expense for entrance stairs and 10 planters at 3629 Mintwood Street, 6th Ward, 7th Council District.
Need a
Motion
motion.
to approve?
Need a second.
Second.
Conversation. No conversation. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposers, nay. Takes us to the next bill, please.
Bill number 2121, resolution granting unto Jason Regan, 3611 Mintwood Street, their successors and assigns the privilege and license to construct, maintain, and use at their own cost and expense a new feature wall with the bench and canopy at 3611 Mintwood Street, 6th Ward, 7th Council District.
Need a motion.
Motion to approve?
Need a second.
Second.
Second. Conversation. No conversation. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposers, nay. That takes us to the next committee, which is the Land Use and Economic Development Committee. Ms. Gross is the chair. We have a supplemental paper.
Bill number 2141, resolution authorizing the mayor and the director of city planning to enter into a fellowship participation agreement in the University of Pittsburgh not to exceed $3,600 for the 2019 fiscal year.
motion.
Motion to approve with
Need
discussion.
a second.
So
Second.
these are,
Second.
oops, sorry, do I have a second?
Yes.
These are the ones that were rule aided today, so I don't have a lot of information on them, but as it reads, it's a fellowship agreement. So I have no questions.
Any other conversation? No conversation. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposers, nay. Okay, bill, positive recommendation. Next bill, please.
Bill number 2142, resolution authorizing the mayor and director of city planning to enter into a fellowship participation agreement with Coro Pittsburgh not to exceed $9,750 for the 2019 fiscal year.
Motion to approve?
Need a second?
Second.
Any conversation? No conversation. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposers, nay. Next bill, please.
Bill number 1995, Ordinance amending and supplementing the Pittsburgh Code of Ordinances, Title IX, Zoning, Chapter 915, Environmental Performance Standards, subsection 915.06, Sustainable Development for Publicly Financed Buildings by deleting certain language and adding a new subsection 915.08 titled Sustainable Development for City-Owned Facilities. A public hearing was held on October 1st.
Ms. Gross, need a motion.
Motion to approve with discussion.
Second, Ms. Gross.
I'm supportive and eager to see these move forward.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposers, nay. The next two bills you can read together.
Bill number 2096, resolution further amending Resolution number 772 of 2016, effective January 1, 2017, as amended, entitled Resolution Adopting and Approving the 2017 Capital Budget and the 2017 Community Development Block Grant Program, approving the 2017 through 2022 Capital Improvement Program by reducing Southwest Pittsburgh CDC by $16,500, increasing Hope for Tomorrow by $5,000, increasing Sheridan Community Council by $1,500, increasing Green Recreation Center by $5,000, increasing Building Bridges for Business by $5,000, and authorizing a subsequent agreement or agreements for operation, administrative expenses, maintenance, purchase of equipment, and/or rehabilitation of neighborhood facilities on behalf of the residents of the City of Pittsburgh. Bill number 2097, resolution further amending Resolution 863 of 2018, effective January 2019, as amended, entitled Resolution Adopting and Approving the 2019 Capital Budget and the 2019 Community Development Block Grant Program and the 2019 through 2024 Capital Improvement Program by reducing Birmingham Foundation West End Employment Center by $1,000, increasing Sheridan Community Council by $1,000, updating J.D. Edwards financial information, and authorizing a subsequent agreement or agreements for operation, administrative expenses, maintenance, purchase of equipment, and/or rehabilitation of neighborhood facilities on behalf of the residents of the City of Pittsburgh.
To approve.
Second.
Second, Ms. Gross.
I have no questions. I'm
No
supportive.
questions.
Thank you.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposers, nay. Takes us to new papers.
Bill number 2112, resolution providing for the Pittsburgh City Council to authorize the mayor of the City of Pittsburgh to execute all necessary agreements between the City of Pittsburgh and the Pennsylvania State Historic Preservation Office as may be required for renewed participation in the Certified Local Government Program.
Motion to approve discussion.
Second.
Just for members, this is, from what I understand, this certification allows us access to even more grant programs to support historic preservation in the neighborhoods.
Any other conversation? Another conversation. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposers, nay. Next bill, please.
Bill number 2113, resolution amending Resolution number 534 of 2018, effective August 6, 2018, entitled Resolution Providing for an Agreement and Contract or Use of Existing Agreements and Contracts with Urban Design Ventures for the purpose of assisting the city in preparing environmental reviews resulting from an audit conducted by the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, and provide for the payment at a cost not to exceed $20,000 by increasing the amount authorized to $48,000.
Motion to approve.
Second.
No questions.
Any other questions? No questions. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposers, nay. It takes us to the Innovation, Performance, and Asset Management Committee. Ms. Strasburger is the chair. We have a new paper.
Bill number 2122, resolution amending Resolution number 469 of 2018, which authorized the mayor and director of Innovation and Performance on behalf of the City of Pittsburgh to enter into a professional services agreement and/or amendments with Planet Technologies for SaaS, software as a service, email, and data file collaboration, increasing the authorized contract amount by $47,580 for Active Directory modernization services.
Need a motion, Ms. Strasburger.
Motion to approve.
Need a second.
Second.
Any conversation?
I'd just like to have a brief conversation. Just, the Active Directory, is that, what, did you explain that?
Would you like to come up to the table? Thank you.
Hi.
Good afternoon. Could you identify yourself for the public?
Yes, hi, Heidi Norman, Deputy Director of Innovation and Performance.
Thank you for being here. Could you give us a
What is
little
Active
synopsis?
Directory?
Yeah.
Active Directory is the core of our network and information systems. What it does is it identifies every individual and what access they ought to have within the network in terms of security, as well as the folder structure and the files that they should have access to.
Okay. So it's not a directory like we would think, like we would get. Okay.
Any other conversation? See no other conversation. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposers, nay. That takes us to the intergovernmental, thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Thank
That
you.
takes us to Intergovernmental Affairs Committee. Mr. O'Connor is the chair.
Bill number 2161, resolution amending resolution number 611 of 2019, previously amended by resolution number 448 of 2019, authorizing the city of Pittsburgh to enter into an agreement to execute the Alcoasand Service Agreement Amendment by and among the Allegheny County Sanitary Authority, the Pittsburgh Water and Sewer Authority, the Western Westmoreland Municipal Authority, the North Huntington Township Municipal Authority, the Township of North Huntington, the Penn Township Sewage Authority, and the Township of Penn regarding the Cavettsville-Adara area.
Need a motion?
Motion to approve.
Need a second?
Second discussion.
Second discussion. Ms. Harris?
Someone here?
Can I?
Yes.
I just spoke with Councilman O'Connor. It's his desire to see the bill move forward, and I'm not sure if there is monetary impact in this in any way. There is no monetary impact in any way.
All right, but still, Ms. Harris wants to have discussion with someone from the administration. Is
There
there
is monetary
anyone
impact. We have-
from the administration that wants to
Administrative
come and engage Ms. Harris's concern? We will hold the bill open to go to the next bill. Next bill, please.
Bill number 2018-0983, resolution authorizing the mayor and the director of the Department of Finance to execute a quitclaim deed or deeds and any other necessary or appropriate documents, agreements, and instruments conveying as is all of the city's right, title, and interest, if any, in designated city-owned properties to the URA of Pittsburgh for consideration of $1 each, contingent upon the mayor and the director of the Department of Finance first entering into a cooperation agreement or agreements with the URA setting forth the rights and obligations of the city and the URA relating to these initial conveyances, and further setting forth the rights and obligations of the city and the URA relating to the subsequent disposition of these properties to third parties.
Need a motion?
Yeah, if you don't mind, can I motion to approve so I can explain it?
Yep, second.
Okay, motion to approve?
Second.
Thank you. So I have been trying to wait, we were waiting for an opinion from the law department, but the last time I just checked in with Chief Gilman, he says that there have been examples, for example, in Councilman Coghill's district where there's a Beachview Senior Center that has a sublet tenant with a neighborhood nonprofit that's great in neighborhood serving business. So that is the direction that we're going to go in for this building rather than selling it to the URA for $1. And again, this is my staff just handed me. If you're not familiar, this is like 26th and Penn, right by like Denoya's restaurant and the DPW or PWCA facility. It's the old OMI building. So it's, it's up to the councilwoman if you want to, this is Corey's committee, I apologize. I could hold it for another month, or we could just motion to table while we kind of work out the details, because I suspect we won't need to do this legislation.
My own preference, since the councilman is not here, is to hold and let him make the appropriate, it's his committee, and I'd prefer.
He's back next week?
Yeah, I'd prefer to hold it
That's
for a
fine.
week, and then he can come in whatever action, however direction he wants to move in, if that's
I think
not
that's a
problem.
great suggestion. I just
Second.
apologize. This has been a year, I looked it up, of these kinds of limping along with these holds, but I'm happy to motion to hold for 1 week.
Yes, second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposers, nay. Next bill, please.
Bill number 2029, resolution adopting plan revision to the City of Pittsburgh's official sewage facilities plan for the 201 Arsenal Phase 2 residential land development project located at 135 39th Street.
Need a motion?
Motion to approve.
Need a
Second.
second? Any conversation? Ms. Rose?
Thank you. So 2029 is at 40th and Butler. It's a 13-acre site. where the front along Butler Street is 250 apartments that opened probably a year, almost 2 years ago. And this is the second phase, which is a substantial extra 1/3 of the site. It's an additional 340 luxury apartments, but subject to the new inclusionary zoning that council supported, so it will have 35 affordable units. But I just got an update from zoning today. It actually hasn't completed all of the agreements with the planning department, which is why I was checking last week. So I'm going to motion to hold this for 2 weeks.
Second.
Again, I got an update from zoning today, and that may be time for like the transportation plan.
Is there a second? Second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposers, nay. A couple of housekeeping things. First of all, next week, council will resume their regular schedule with meetings Tuesday, October 15th, and Wednesday, October 16th, both at 10 a.m. Council will also hold a cablecast public hearing next Wednesday, October 16th at 2 p.m. on Bill 2019-2033, a petition as it relates to awarding reparations for Black residents of Pittsburgh. Before I ask for, yes.
The open bill?
The open bill, I forgot. You're right, there is a bill, thank you. Well, while we're waiting, I will make my announcement. I don't normally respond to public comment, but I want to at least let council, and hopefully Ms. Brown is watching. I will not stop anyone of any age to give public comment. I think anyone who comes down is entitled to address us. However, I will direct them as to what appropriate comment is. The purpose of public comment is for the person to talk to council about legislation. And so to have anyone come and talk about things that are not related to council is not appropriate. Now, it doesn't mean I will stop them, and a lot of people do it, but I think and I won't say it at length, but I think if you're going to say that this is a moment to raise children, then it's also my obligation to help you teach your children right and whether it's appropriate, and that I will do. Because the appropriate thing is for them to talk to us about legislation, not a time for them to, our time to be on TV is during the time that we give proclamations and Pledge of Allegiance. That's not the purpose of public comment. It is not PCTV. And so there are other venues for that. This is not it. Now, the reason that it's taking so long, Councilwoman Harris, I'm going to tell you this before, almost everybody in the administration is down at the gear training. Council's the only people not at the gear training, and all of them. But we have Chief of Staff here, but almost all the directors are down at the convention center being trained in gear training. Mr. Lavelle and I would be down there if it wasn't for council. The only reason we're not here is because we have council. We do have Chief Gilman, who is manning the station, so let's go back to the open bill.
Hi, Chief Gilman.
Which is, sure,
I have the bill text in front of me, so.
which is, which bill, it is under
It's 2161,
Under
and
whose
if
committee?
you would like to read over it first.
Is this the O'Connor-sponsored one? Or what?
2161.
Yeah.
it's the Alcoasand bill. It's just a,
It seems to be sponsored by Councilman O'Connor as a council-sponsored bill and not coming from the administration.
all right, is there a motion?
It's
to
not
move-
something I've seen.
Can I
Sure.
ask a question, make a comment? So I have the text in front of me. It's an agreement between the Western Westmoreland Municipal Authority and the North Huntington Township Municipal Authority. It specifically says in the amended bill, whereas though the city of Pittsburgh is unaffected by the change, the city of Pittsburgh was a party to the original Alcoasand Service Agreement Amendment and therefore must agree to any change. It does not affect the city of Pittsburgh at all. We just have to agree to the change because we were a party to the original agreement. So given that, I would make a friendly suggestion that if it's the councilman's desire to move forward, as Council President Kraus said, that we move ahead today and see if any lingering questions could be answered by the councilman before next week.
We can always recommit on Tuesday. Ms. Gross.
Thank you. So we have seen these before, right? So every time anyone adds into the Alcoasand service area, that we have to approve them as well. I think it is an interesting issue to see like how this map has grown over time. You know, even adding to some other service area in some far-flung part of Allegheny County, all of that stormwater and sewer still goes in intermunicipal transmission lines and ends up mostly overflowing within our city boundaries when it does overflow. So I don't think I have a mental map in my head well enough to think about where North Huntington is and which of the river fronts it would be overflowing into, because honestly, some of these lines, transmission lines between the municipalities are bigger and fuller and more problematic than others. So that it was rule aided, and this, I think, is not a great pattern.
This is not our legislation.
I
I
know.
assume there's a reason the councilman was he's the board member for Alcoasand for the city,
Yeah.
so I'm assuming he was asked to do it in that regard. It's not something I had seen until I got called in here, but what I can do is I can go back to my desk and email Gene Clark, who does their community
That'd be great.
affairs, ask for an
Thank you.
explanation and forward it to members.
Thank you. Yeah, I think we should, give the public the notice that this is happening. It is generally of concern that the Alcoasand surface area is growing, and where that is and all those kinds of things, I think is just an important part of the record. That's all.
Very much,
Thank you.
Ms. Harris.
Yes, I would also like to see when we went into that agreement.
When?
1950.
So that was 1950
is the
that we went
agreements.
into the agreement. And come on, most of these places, they're lucky they had barns on them. Really. North Hills was ghost town. There was a McDonald's that didn't even serve 100 hamburgers at
Okay,
that
what do you
time.
want to do? Hold it?
So, no. What I would like is the information on how they would like to change the agreement, and also looking at, since there's so much that's feeding into our lines now, that is costing the taxpayer, the Alcoasand users in the city of Pittsburgh an awful lot of money. So I would really like to see where we could go with this.
I'll work to get information.
I appreciate that.
Are you holding? That's what I'm asking.
So we're going to move forward. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposers, nay. Thank you very much.
Could I get that before Tuesday?
One
Email right
abstention.
now.
Abstain.
2 abstentions. Still positive recommendation. Any other concerns or questions? No questions or concerns. I'll now entertain a motion to, don't you miss
Thanks,
us? Don't you miss us? Don't you miss us? A motion to excuse the absent member, approve the minutes, and adjourn the meeting.
So move.
There's a second.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposers, nay. We are adjourned.